Galatians chapter 4, 4 times Hagar is called a slave or a bondwoman. And we're told she represents the law. That's the point. She's good in the position of a slave, but she never belonged in the master's bedroom. She never belonged in the marriage. She has no part in the promise. There are natural blessings that will come through her and to her. But when it comes to the spiritual stuff that really matters to God, God doesn't see her. He doesn't recognize her. She was born a slave. She's still a slave. It's through Isaac and his offspring that the promise shall be reckoned. It's salvation by grace through faith. It's trusting the blood of Jesus, that Jesus fulfilled the law. Okay? Ultimately, Hagar was cast out without compromise because she was in the wrong position. She was cast out. Now, we know that Abraham loved Ishmael because he called out to God and he said, God, oh, that Ishmael could live before you. Remember that part of the story? Oh, God, let Ishmael live before you. Let me tell you something. This is why we don't always like this preaching today. Because we, like Abraham, like our Ishmaels. They look good. They're strong. They're young. There's something to brag about. There's good leadership qualities in them. We want to brag about our Ishmaels. We've grown to love our works. We've grown to love what we've achieved. And I may not be perfect, but I'm sure better than this one. I'm sure better than that one. I've gone further in this area. We love our Ishmaels. But God says, no, I don't recognize the bondwoman. I don't recognize her child. Cast them out. It's not of works, lest anyone should boast. All of our boast, all of our merits are in the shed blood of Jesus. Cast them out without compromise. Give me 5 minutes. It'll be worth your time. If not, be a Christian and forgive me later. Do you remember the movie War Room? Wasn't that a great movie? Yeah. I love in the movie War Room, there's a scene that I like. When she's having the come to Jesus moment in the prayer closet, and she's crying out to God for her husband. And she doesn't know it, but her husband's down, I think, in Atlanta. And he's smoozing a floozy across the table. And she don't know what's happening, but in that moment she's crying out to God for her husband and her marriage and her family. And God intervenes, and I think he gets sick. Is that how it goes or something? And he has to leave. And God interrupts that thing that would have happened and wrecked their home. And God interrupts that. Well, later on when her husband comes to the Lord and accepts Jesus, one of my favorite scenes is when he disconnects the phone and changes the phone number. I don't know if you ever noticed that. A lot of people watch that movie and never notice it. He disconnects the phone number. You know why? Because that's the number that the floozy had. Let me tell you something. Can I meddle for just a minute? I'm going to. There's a lot of Christians that you need to change your phone number and move your address. Because you still got a lot of people coming around you trying to pull you into bondage, into legalism, into self-works, into something to brag about. You know why they want to do it? So that they can have their boast. That one, I got him straightened up. Yeah, I know Mary was kind of off, but I got Mary straightened up. David, we're still working on that. I'm teasing. I got to pick on you. But we got David straightened up, or Philip, or whoever. Now listen, some of y'all, you need to learn how to change your phone number and disconnect it. And you're not being unloving to do that, okay? That woman did not belong in that relationship. And so he disconnected the phone number. Hagar did not belong in Abraham and Sarah's bed. So God agreed with Sarah and said, yes, cast out the bondwoman and her child. Don't miss the point today. He's talking about legalism and law in your life. He's talking about the boast that you have for meritorious behavior before God. And he's saying, cast them out. Change the number. Move address. The only reason these people want you to do that is so that they can brag about how they got you straightened up. So that they can have a boast, which will mean nothing before God. No compromise. Notice that Hagar, you can stay there, but Hagar never remarried. God had a specific purpose for her, and then she was cast out. God has a purpose for the law in your life. It's to show you right. It's to show you what's right and wrong in your life. It's to bring out your worst qualities. It's to get you snipping at each other, and to show how manipulative you are, and to show how fleshly and carnal you are. But then after that, you have a come to Jesus moment. And when you have a come to Jesus moment, guess what time it is? Cast out the bondwoman and her child. God does not recognize them. Blessing will not flow through them. Blessing will flow only through the shed blood of Jesus Christ and our boast being fully upon what He did for us. That's not just salvation, that's all of our life. So how do we fix the problem? Well, we've already talked about it. We love the works of our flesh. We love to brag about what we've accomplished. But it's time to cast out the slave woman. It doesn't mean the law is bad. It means that the law is going to get in its place. It's going to get in its place. Every man-made religion, pick any title, and a lot of churches too, every one that is man-made is simply another attempt to work for and achieve meritorious salvation on our own. Something that we earned. Something that I don't care if it's Jehovah's Witness. I don't care if it's Mormon. I don't care if it's, this Church of God, the cult one, not the good one. The Church of God cult up the street. It's all about, now sometimes it's real sneaky about it. Sometimes it's real sneaky, But it all comes down to I'm as good as dead. I have nothing to brag about. Now, are good works good? Yes. Is the law good? Yes. Are we saying that we should sin that grace should abound? No. But it's a total shift of focus. It's a total shift of focus. And now I have the Spirit within me that compels me that I want to do what's right, and I feel bad about it when I do what's wrong. And I don't need to live under that bondage. Last